YouTube anymore. Um, so yeah, you guys went to the dungeon, which you recall was like a almost like a big empty subway station in form, like an arched roof with three tiers of balconies of cells. You all decided to get creative with questioning the prisoner, and oh no. You decided to get creative with questioning the prisoner, and that started out with Baloran going up there and doing all sorts of mind control and deception and stuff. But the person was just like, I don't care about dying. I don't care about going free. But nonetheless, he got a name from this person. And satisfied with that, he is heading out. But Biggs was like, not to be outdone, gonna try something else. He disguised himself as the prince and then came in and just stood around in front of the person to see what their reaction would be. And the person was just like, "Oh my God, are you the prince? I think you might be the prince." And that was, I think I gave him a point of inspiration because that's a pretty creative thing to do. So you all decided that you had sufficiently extracted enough information, and you just started to leave. You started to leave the dungeons. However,
Um, can I interrupt just a sec? Because I know it like went a little bit last week. Like if my character couldn't remember something, Valoran in the moment like said like what I was saying. But like, would my character remember the name that was given? Because I personally don't, and I want to take notes because like I realize that's like probably important for someone with a bad memory like me. So do I get to retain that name or no?
well, as a neurodivergent DM, I support neurodivergency and all forms of existence, and therefore will support your existence by yeah, your character knows the name, character remembers. But there will be times where I will not tell you or make you do a history roll. So taking notes is good, and you're about to add somebody to the party who apparently takes notes constantly on some app called Joplin. So I think you're going to be okay.
Which I am checking out as we speak, by the way.
But
Yeah, let me know what you think.
But yeah, the name you got was Fia Charles, spelled in the Irish way, Fiadh. Wow, the guy even spelled it for you when you were questioning him. You know, you were questioning him and he was like, Fia Charles, Fidh. Of course, the lady who you were questioning. So yeah, you got that name. So you gathered yourselves up. You decided that you had extracted a sufficient amount of information and you started to walk from the dungeons. However, a couple of the guards asked you to stop. And they said, hold on, as you were leaving this very large arched room to walk down the very skinny hallway that has a metal gate in the middle of it and a couple guards in it to head back to the main body of the castle. One of the guards stopped you and said, "Oh, please wait a moment. There's someone we're supposed to send with you." And then behind you, you hear in that big open room, you hear the sound of a cell door opening and metal scraping across the ground. And pretty soon, a figure is pulled into the flickering torchlight that is at the mouth of the prison there. What does this figure look like?
So she's about 5'8". You basically you can see a female form, but it's covered in a dark black traveling robe. It's spattered with mud and tattered in places. The perceptive among you will notice that there's some kind of metal armor underneath the robe. And in the torchlight, you can kind of see that her face is covered in drawings and not tattooed. It almost looks like someone's drawn them on with a Sharpie or a crayon. Doesn't seem to be armed, and yeah, I think that's all you would really see. And she would like kind of rush out and kind of shove the guard out of the way, and she'd be like, "You guys are late. You guys were supposed to be here 3 days ago."
So
I don't know.
what does Ava see when she pushes her way through? Y'all.
Since we're at the entrance of the dungeon, right? You probably see Baloran. He would be 2'10", not wearing a shirt, with bright teal pants, a pouch, and a scroll case, and short dark hair. And he's got like rough, like calloused skin. And he seems to have an almost haze about him. And you're not really sure probably what that is unless you have some kind of special class features, among other things.
Can you say that last part again? Yeah, can you say that last part again?
He has a bit of a haze about him, like a dark, almost static-like existence. He from his dark magic. Eva is, saying, "Yeah, we're the local weed." It's actually a combination of false life and mage armor.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, don't metagame.
All right. Luce, what does Ava see when she looks at you?
Yeah, so she will see a half elf female, just slightly taller than herself, and with pretty long dark brown, long black hair, light brown skin, and is wearing pretty expensive looking clothing. She looks sort of a red and black getup with some gold trim about it. Looks something like a matador meets a musketeer type of a look about her. She has a rapier by her side, a lute strapped across her back, and a mischievous look in her eye as she sees you sort of come forward and start to scold us for our tardiness.
And do we still have a medium creature on top of a medium creature?
Yes.
Well, let's go.
Unless he got sick of me at this point.
It's 3 raccoons in a trench coat, I think.
Let's go from the top down.
From the top, that would be me. She has massive curly dark hair with 2 cat-like ears coming out of it, barely poking out of it. A lion-like tail. She wears a very simple clothing with a bit of a skirt. And as she hears the metal against stone, she'll kind of cup her ears a bit and duck down, almost making herself look like a wig on Cyrus.
Cyrus is a GIF, and for as I mentioned this week, a GIF is a hippopotamus-based humanoid that exists in this world. He is wearing armor, chainmail. He's 8 feet tall, so large coat of armor. Currently carrying a shield emblazoned with a symbol of stars on it. Also carrying a halberd on his back as well, and his best feature at the moment is Luna sitting on atop his shoulders right now, and has been we've been making quite a little tandem over the last episode.
We've been taking notes.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's what Ava sees as she pushes forward and says that you're 3 days late. And I will zip my lips and let you all meet each other.
3 days late. Late for what? We've only been here for 2 days.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell. She said you were supposed to be here 3 days ago, and I've been stuck in the cell ever since. And I don't know, they just threw me in here because apparently, pissing in the bush in the city is a big no-no. And the guard was all like, no, I won't even go into that. That was a funny joke. But anyways, yeah, I was told you were going to be here, and I've been sitting in the cell, and we really need to go and do whatever you're supposed to be doing.
Does Eva have a light on her shoulder?
No. Why would she?
All right.
Because the queen.
Yeah, the rest of us have lights on our shoulders.
Let's have the conversation in character.
Were you really in prison for pissing in a bush?
Well, I mean, among other things, but that's not important. Yeah, I know. We're going. Yeah, we should, maybe we can talk as we go before they change their mind and decide to throw us all back in here.
Well, Lauren would ask who you're talking to, or you would ask, who are you talking to over your shoulder there?
Yeah. It's not important right now. I can explain everything later. Yeah, I know. And she'll try and she's trying to get the party to get out of the dungeon that she's been stuck in for the past 3 days.
Does anybody say out loud the thing about the light on the shoulder?
Lauren, yeah, he would have.
So Baloran asks you don't have a light on your shoulder, do you?
Does your light talk to you? No, I don't have a light on.
And Ava, you notice that all 4 of the people in front of you have a little golden orb floating over their right shoulder. It's glowing, it's gold, it's orange, and it's about the size of a golf ball, and it's floating over their right shoulder.
I'm going to turn to one of the guards and say, are these transferable? She can have mine.
Wait, what do these do? What are those? Why do you all have? I mean, why do you?
Perhaps I glance at all the guards and say, perhaps we should talk about it elsewhere.
Yes, that's a very good idea. Yes, I agree. Elsewhere, maybe over drinks.
Now you are speaking my language,
yes.
My friend. Let us do that.
So you guys head down the long, skinny passageway of the entrance to the dungeons, and you get to a central part of the cellar, the undercroft of the castle, and in one direction there are some guards that are guarding some sort of stone entrance or something. There's a big open area that has a lot of storage casks and cobwebs, and then there's the direction you came from. But where you're standing is kind of a central open room, and there's not anybody near you at this moment. And there's also a staircase that would lead you back upstairs, so you might be able to talk here without being overheard.
These infernal luces on our shoulders are some sort of, I think maybe a listening device. I'm not too sure, but we can't get rid of them. The Queen claims that they are Oh my gosh, my brain just went. Signify, thank you. To signify to others that we are on the Queen's business, but I am not so sure.
It is quite strange. I've never seen anything like those. Can I what in my travels have I seen anything like that? Can I like Arcana?
You might have heard about this. You might have heard about this from before you left the city, but your memory may be a little hazy.
Sure.
But give me a history check. Give me a history check.
Does that work? No. I gotta wake up my phone. History check. Oh, I'm not very smart at all.
All right, David, you're really meeting someone after your own heart here.
I know
7.
he's got the dice cam. I'm gonna have
7. Yeah.
We're gonna have to
There was
compare notes.
something else that he did that was also very David-ish that I can't remember now. So what is that? A 7? Is
That's
that
a 7
guidance or something?
Nope. Just a
That
raw 7.
that D4 is just there for fun. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's because the triangle dice are so hard to pick up that I don't like putting it in the small tray. So I'm gonna leave it in the big tray.
This guy knows what's up.
Tweezers for him.
All right, so
They're sharp.
it's a 7. So you can't quite remember. I mean, it's yeah, you got a +0 to it. So you can't quite remember what this is, but it scratches the surface of your memory as something that has to do with whoever is the monarch. And
I might have seen them like around the estate, but not, I was kind of young,
so the group lets you know that these spheres were put over their shoulder by the queen to indicate that they are on the queen's business. And so they've asked you, why don't you have one of those?
I honestly, I don't think they give them to prisoners. I don't,
Why is the queen? Why are the guards? Not, no offense, because you are very welcome with us today. But why are the guards foisting you on us if you are not on the queen's business as well?
I am unclear.
Yes, I can see that.
I do think that we are supposed to travel together. I don't know what we're supposed to do, but baby steps.
How old does Ava appear to us?
Late 20s.
Okay. All right. I'm a little suspicious and want to see if she seems to be sincere in her story about why she does not have a light.
All right, Luce, give me an insight check, and John, check your Discord DMs.
Oh. 15.
That is a solid insight check. David, your audio sounds good. How's mine? No fan noise?
Sexy.
It's just the laptop speaker,
Deep
David.
and bassy and masculine and erotic is how it is.
I feel like Allison got her gaming station back after the dog attack on the wires.
Well, it's not completely how I want it to be, but it's getting there. It's slowly upgrading.
You don't have those cool
the lights
background that you had.
Yeah, I know. Not today.
So
next week.
Slacker.
So Luce, so far you get the feeling that everything that Ava is telling you is true in her mind, and also that she's seems a little addled.
Okay. I'm just gonna shrug and be like, "Oh, very well, good enough for me, I suppose. The more the merrier. We will all probably die anyway."
I'm starting to think that she got the better part of the deal.
This is true.
But why is that?
I mean,
Because
you don't
one
have
of these things.
you have no idea how difficult it is to be a person like me and to have a light on your shoulder all the time. You just like
Have you did you spend the last 3 days shitting in a bucket?
I'm not saying your life before this
Because
was
it
better.
wasn't a good deal. In the dark, mind you.
So you peed in a bush, and now your punishment was you had to shit in a bucket.
Seems
Seems fair.
down with monarchy, right?
Yes, I agree, my friend. You should come with me to Rocinante. They do not have such silly rules there.
Well, Lauren's gonna cast what is it? Dancing lights, and just make one little light that's the same golden shade as the other lights, and put it over Eva's shoulder and be like, "There, we're all settled now."
Perfect.
So this strange person has joined you from a jail cell, and she doesn't seem to have any ill intentions. You're welcome to question her more, talk to her more, but I also wonder, what is your next step in your journey?
Now, knowing that I pretty much know a lot of this city due to class and background stuff, do I know at least one bar or residence where people the prince's age would normally hang out?
Yeah.
Okay.
There, if he was going to slum it as a commoner, he'd go to the Chop and he'd hang out at the Towering Maw. What's the name of that place? The Towering Cave. So you can think of a tavern in the Chop that would be a likely spot for him to kick it.
Okay. Well, then I'll just suggest us go there if we're gonna get a drink anyways.
Okay.
I'm muted. The Chop. They don't have any dwarven ale, do they? Yeah, no, I know.
So
Would I
hope so.
would I know what they have?
Well, if you know, I assume you'd been there before if you were going to recommend it to us.
yeah, she's asking me. Yeah, you would think that they would have some dwarven ale there.
Okay.
So y'all are in the basement of this castle, and one of your members has suggested that you go and talk at this tavern in the Chop. Are y'all thinking about going?
Wait. Where's the little one? Isn't there supposed to be one more?
Littler than
There was
me.
supposed to be 5 of you. I was told there was going to be 5 of you.
Does appear to be Mr. Big seems to be missing. I don't know where he slipped off to.
How tall is he? Biggs is 3'5".
Oh, he's very
It's hard to
big.
lose. It's like a toddler. You need to get a leash. Okay, we can go.
He is a master of disguise. He actually could be any one of us.
Dun dun dun.
Especially Cyrus.
Perhaps he is you. But he does not.
I'll
have a
never
light.
tell.
What? I think he mentioned to Valoran right before he snuck off that he had an important errand to attend to, and the moment he finished saying that, he just disappeared into the darkness.
Well, Lauren definitely wouldn't tell the party.
Well, if he is meant to find us again, he will do so. Let's go. Lead on. Drinks await.
So, go ahead.
I was anywhere but in the basement of this godforsaken dungeon. Let's get out of here.
Yes, before I have to shit in a bucket.
Careful. That's
Well,
a one-way trip. That's a one-way ticket back here, apparently.
Yeah, just avoid the bushes.
Okay, so bushes are off limits. What about trees?
It is
That was
important
probably
that we
some-
mark all the places where we can and cannot piss.
It's probably some hippie druid standing around every tree watching us.
So
Oh wait, there are no druids here, right? I don't think so.
I guess you'll never know.
I guess I probably won't know. No.
So I'm just gonna pull up a little map to talk about here, to talk about your travel across the town. Yeah, there's a place that I want to take you. I'm looking for my notes on it. So I might put you on a break for 5 minutes when we get to the chop so I can pull that place up. Let's see. Zoom, share screen. Here we go. All right. All right, so you all are in the cellars of Castle Dagran. As you finish your conversation, Valentis walks down the staircase towards you. This bearded old tutor of the prince is standing on the stairs, and he says to you all, well, have you found anything? Did you put any information together from studying the room? Where do you think the prince might be?
We found a person, and I think they are the key to this whole thing, but we will keep you informed.
Valoran would go up to Valoran and be like, this may be unorthodox, but could I actually ask for a favor from you that would aid us in our quest to find the prince? Could you obtain for me some ink, a quill, and some parchment?
You're asking Valentis that?
Yeah.
Valentis says, "Oh, of course. I'm a tutor. I have access to such things. Would you like me to go get it now while you're on the way out of the castle?"
Valoran would look to the rest of the party if that's agreeable, and he looks at everybody to make sure that's okay.
Yes, I wish you all could share with me what you figured out. I'm very concerned about the prince.
Official business and all that. Best save it for the queen.
Can I do an insight check on when he says that?
Yeah, please.
Come on, thank you. Oh, hold on. I suck at insight too. Oh, yeah, he's super concerned about the prince.
Valentis looks at you. Oh yeah, I forgot you're rolling with the real dice. Valentis looks at you and looks at you, Eva, and then looks at the party and says, who is this individual who has joined you? She appears to have been drawing on her face. Are you part of the Queen's
Well,
mission?
this is why I mean, obviously, this is why we have a great need of that parchment. So, some of us make notes where we can.
Valentis looks over to Baloran to see if any of this makes sense.
Valoran will inform Valentis. I'm sorry, this is someone that we've recently acquired in order to help us attain our goals. They'll be useful for us later on down the line, but they're not officially, with us, if you know what I mean.
And at that point, I kind of, just move my hand through the fake orb. I'm like, see.
Oh, well, this is very interesting to say the least. And he looks at you, Eva, and says, does the Queen know that you're helping with this very discretion-based matter?
I mean, she's a part of the group. Why would you think otherwise? She's right here. She's got the orb. I mean, how much more evidence do you need?
Yeah,
I'm trying to help.
well, yeah, he wants me to play. He wants me to play this card. I have a letter. I have a letter right here, and I'll kind of pull it out and then, kind of wipe it off. I'm not saying I use it as toilet paper, but I'll kind of hand it over to him. And, excuse the mess. I was in a cell. Okay,
I'm a prestidigitate that as soon as I see that it is nasty.
a little soiled.
You flick the dirt off of it.
The dirt, yes.
Valentis was about to not touch it, but when you do that and he sees a gleaming, clean letter, he reaches his,
that's the condition it was in when we got it.
His old yet strong hand out for it and opens it up and looks at it. Well, yes. Oh, he hands it back to you. It appears this person was asked to help you.
I will take the letter and stick it back in case I need it in the future.
And Valentis takes a little whiff and takes a look at you and then looks back at the group and says, "Well,
the shower facilities here are abysmal. This is a 1 out of 5 stars on Yelp."
Yelp. What you mean?
Yes, I'll come up with an acronym later thing.
Well, I suppose I will retrieve the paper for you that you have asked for, Beloran. Again, I wish you could tell me what you surmised from the room, but I will respect your secrecy. The Queen did ask for secrecy. Well, I'm going to go look for this parchment, and he starts to go up the stairs, and he says, "But Beloran, I'll have someone hand it to you on the way out the door of the castle. But please." Keep me informed, all of you. I'd really love to help find the prince. I'm very concerned about him. I care deeply for him. What?
I said he does seem very concerned.
Yeah, he does.
As soon as he's out of earshot, I'm going to turn to the group and be like, "Are we all agreed that we are not going to keep him informed?"
But I mean, he's very concerned.
Yes, perhaps a little too concerned.
You think his teacher has something to gain if the prince stays missing?
I do not know. We should not trust anyone except you for some reason. I like the look of you.
Well, I mean, it's the same kind of concept as like when you get told, "Oh my goodness, you're gonna die," and then like you don't. And like you got worried over nothing. Like,
do people tell you that a lot? You should stay away from those dime store fortune tellers.
I mean,
is that like an addiction of hers? It's like every town she goes to, she's got to like go and visit the cheapest fortune teller she can find. That would be a cool hook. Never mind.
That is a great hook.
That's
a DM's dream right there.
Yeah.
You're muted, Jake.
So do you guys are you guys walking out of the castle as this is happening, as this conversation is taking place?
Are we waiting for the parchment to be brought to us, or are we
Well, he said that he would hand it out as we all were walking out. And obviously I'm not walking anywhere. I'm sitting the entire time.
So you're sitting on a GIF,
Yep.
walking on a cloud. So you all head up from the bowels of Castle Dagran, which after recent encounters are definitely bowels indeed. And you head up some wide stone stairs that spiral up to the gray stone, functional yet elegant Castle Dagran's keep. You're in the back of the keep. You have passed the entrance to the waiting room, to the throne room, where a few of you had gone before, and you continue south towards the exit of the keep, which will take you to the massive gate that heads out of the castle. As you walk down narrow gray stone hallways, you see golden vases, tiny porcelain knickknacks, tapestries.
Now he's just baiting our rogue.
And when you get to the gates, there are guards standing around, of course, as guards do, guarding. And just as you're about to head out the gate, a guard comes up to you and says, "Hey, one of you, Baloran, I've got this piece of parchment. Valentis told me to give you this piece of parchment." And he gives you a parchment and a quill, Baloran, one piece of paper that he said it was important that I run here before you leave and give you this parchment and a quill.
Lauren's gonna be like, it was important that you gave me several pieces of parchment. Whatever, it'll do. Thank you.
No ink,
right.
ink though. He forgot the ink.
It's true. And the guy runs off. So are y'all continue out of the castle?
Well,
I would like to get out of here as soon as possible.
well, when we end up coming to a stop to get the parchment, Luna's going to, well, before that, as we are walking out, Luna's gonna kind of lean down to Cyrus's ear and be like, "Did you hear that we earlier? Is she talking about all of us or just we as in herself? She said we. Who is we?"
I wasn't sure whether you picked up on that.
I think it was the royal we.
Like what she did in the bushes?
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't have been a royal we.
Inspiration. I love puns. If you don't have an inspiration, you got one now.
Yay me.
Raise your hand if you got inspiration right now, everybody. I want to know.
I just got one.
Got 3. Okay, I got to cap it till somebody uses one. Yeah, you got one for saying that joke. Which I like. So yeah, you're headed out of these castle gates, and Luna, you are pointing the way from the top of the gift shoulders.
Well, once they get past the gates, she'll ask to pop down and lead the way, kind of in a parade walking kind of way.
Off you go.
And yeah, you lead the charge through the city. You tell them that based on what Valentis said about him slumming it and hanging out with young people of the lower echelons and castes, that he probably was hanging out in the chop. And what self-respecting incognito prince would go hang out in the chop without going to the towering cave? And so you start leading this group through the streets. I want different music. I feel we need something more. I'll just put on some tavern music for now. Tavern music.
Is it like Beetlejuice? You just say it enough times and it'll pop up.
Yeah, that's Alexa, play tavern ambiance. I got to turn off the other ambiance and just do some tavern. There we go. Now we're in a tavern. All right. So eventually we'll be in a tavern. We'll show you the picture of the city again. We talk about walking through it. All right. So you head south past the Nobles' Quarter, where some of you dined with the Musovers the night before. And you know the Deyron and the Anaranjado live there, and even the beleaguered House Maldonado. The former king became ill before the War of Succession, which Queen Aoife won only 6 years ago now. Some of you recall as you walk through the streets thinking of history. You pass the Broken Plowshare and the rest of the inns in the Travelers District, heading south and crossing the bridge here, past the shipyards, and you begin to get into the Chop, which is just north of all the docks and the shipyards, where all the longshore people rest in the evening, and beggars hold out clay pots, hoping for a few coppers to drop into them. Dust swirls in the streets, and shady individuals hide in corners as you leave the main thoroughfare and start to walk through windier streets, heading away from the noisier, more mainstream taverns of the Broken Plowshare of the Travelers District, and heading into places of iller repute, hecka ill, until you find yourself in front of the Towering Cave, which may as well be a wooden shack of sorts, but the wood is painted to look gray like stone, and the opening of the door is painted black, and it has painted stone pieces around the wood. So it looks like quite a shabby tavern, and yet painted to look like a cave with a black door. And the black door flops open every once in a while, and as it opens, you hear tavern music. You hear somebody wailing on a cittern. You hear laughter, and then the door slams shut again as you. I'd say it's about 1 p.m. at this point. You feel the hot noonday sun beating on you and the dust settling into your skin. And thus you have arrived.
Occasionally throughout the walk, Luna would have gotten a little bit distracted by just random things and then be like, oh yeah, I'm leading the group, and start going again. And then when she gets there, it's almost like this is where she's kind of meant to be. It's in a bar, and just immediately goes up and orders a drink.
So you throw open the door, and inside the bar you find more of the continuation of the theme that you saw painted on the outside of the bar. The bar inside has little gray tables and chairs that are painted to look like rocks and pieces of jagged wood that are painted gray. And it has a very shabby sort of mining vibe. And there are a couple dwarves and a couple gnomes in here, along with a mostly human crowd. And so you make your way up to the bar, and you see a lady with an eye patch named Velta, who is a half elf, and she greets you, recognizes you, and says, I hope you're not planning to steal anything today, are you, Luna?
What are you talking about? I would never. I may occasionally forget to pay for a drink or two, but I would never purposely steal something from you. We're friends, aren't we?
Of course. Don't forget to pay for this one. It's free, says Velton. She puts a drink down in front of you and continues talking to other patrons and moving around and stuff.
So she'll take her drink and be like, all right, guys, we came here for a drink, so get a drink. And then kind of just scan the crowd to see if she sees anybody around that age or that style of group that she feels would potentially be involved with the prince.
Sure. Roll perception or insight. Your call.
I'm gonna go insight just because I'm mostly going off of vibe than anything. So that would be
Vibing out.
yeah. Whoop, that's not right. Where's my D20?
I don't know. Probably on the bottom right though, if you're on the dice.
Yeah.
So this music that is creating our ambiance, is it actually something our characters are hearing? Does it appear that there are
One.
uh players, bards, and music going on?
There is one person playing a cittern, and it's a rather handsome young fellow with greasy hair, who is on a stage of a couple milk crates over in the corner, and of course the milk crates are painted to look like boulders.
Maybe that's the prince. Is that the prince?
Did you what did you roll there? A 3? A
What is
0?
playing Scrabble?
I don't know what happened. My screen went nuts.
Try rolling again.
I showed that you rolled an S plus 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead and
Yeah.
roll again.
I'm pretty sure that's a natural 20. I think I
think
remember
so.
reading something about that.
It is both a nat 20 and a triple word score.
Okay, I think I got it now.
All right, we got a
Okay,
10.
it's in.
Yeah, you're not vibing too hard, but as you look around the room, you pick up there's a couple gnomes that are standing together wearing leather aprons. There are a couple dwarves that are drinking some pretty large steins. There are some tired looking middle-aged humans, and there are some rakish looking teenage humans, and that's what you're picking up on. And yeah, there's cittern being played by a handsome, greasy-haired young fellow. What are the others up to as Luna is looking around?
Eva is definitely gonna grab one of those big dwarven steins from the bar. How much is that? I would ask Velta. Velta, is that your name? Can I get one of those? Give me what he's having, and I'll point at the dwarf.
All right, but promise you'll wash your face. And she puts a stein in front of you and says, "That'll be 1 silver."
I will toss her. I'll reach in and toss her a silver. Try not to jingle my coin purse too much.
Enjoy. Use some of it to wash your face. Very good. And then she starts doing something else. And
I don't think she likes your face art, my friend.
I mean, look around you, Cyrus. I'm not sure she's the best judge of art, to be honest.
Why did I get backhanded?
Oh, sorry. Luz? Luz?
Loose.
Loose.
It is short for Luciana.
vamos a
Call me Luz
pronunciar los nombres
Lucy.
perfectamente.
Gracias.
Baloran, what are you up to?
Well, before coming in, he probably would have like cast false life again, just because it only lasts an hour, and he's fully anticipating a bar fight.
All right.
So I actually have to roll for that a little bit. I have to roll a d4, and I was just trying to figure out where the roll 20 or the DDD dice thing was, and I found it. At some point, could like, I don't know if that's like in a easy to find place, but can that get
Yeah, there's a channel, there's a getting
like
started
pinned?
channel. There's a getting started channel that has all the links, and it's got
Okay.
the channel pinned and the dice pinned and everything's in there.
All right, so I have 7 temporary hit points. Anyway,
You got hit points for days, son.
Heck yeah. Valoran probably would like go up to Eva, like realizing that she's kind of dirty, and be like, you know, if you want, I can like clean your robes or whatever. It's really no problem. And he just like cast prestidigitation, be like,
Oh, no,
look, see, I can.
Oh, I don't have counterspell yet. No.
You're a bit unpleasant to travel with, if you catch my drift, as he holds his nose to the side.
Okay, but maybe I don't want to stand out. I don't want to look. Oh my God,
I'm afraid it's
like...
a little too late. You've got the whole thing with your face.
Okay,
you know, the robes are like several weeks
now,
old.
Baloran, we must have consent before we do such things.
What do you mean?
Okay, but it just maybe some perfume. Can you?
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep an eye out.
Before
and
we
then he'll
lay
just
our invisible hands on a female individual, we must have consent. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put my hands on her. I just
Automatically
probably made like a shower of sparks or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, so anyway,
So you clean me up, but not, I don't want to look all fancy like loose.
No, just get the dirt and grime from the dungeon.
Sure. Yeah.
Out of your travel shawl.
Ava, what does your transformation look like? What do you look like when you're all cleaned up?
I mean, the same, but the smell is gone.
She's like the girl in every 80s movie who takes her glasses off and now she's hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But she's still got a bunch of drawings on her face.
Oh, maybe he prestidigitation those off
Maybe,
as well.
sure.
And well,
that would be up to you, Ava. You know, he wouldn't do anything that you didn't ask.
He seems
Oh.
mostly concerned about the dirt, not necessarily your face. The face was more like an afterthought.
Sure.
Yeah, the face he finds funny. The smell they're not.
It's not scribbles, right? They're more like arcane symbols. And as we're talking, she pulls a grease pencil out of her bag, and she's like drawing, like an ankh or some other symbol on her cheek. It's not like she was on a bumpy carriage putting on her makeup.
Yeah.
Would you say that the symbols are largely like Egyptian type symbols, like ankhs and stuff? Because Baloran would definitely make a comment if that's the case.
Then yes. I mean, obviously Egyptian doesn't fit in this world, but you can definitely, make a comment, sure.
Right. You'd be like, I recognize some of those hieroglyphics. Interesting.
They were taught to me from a shaman that I met in my travels, and they helped to suppress the noise.
I need some of those.
Baloran would just shake his head and sink into the crowd like Homer Simpson into a bush.
Yeah, how busy is it? Is it just generally full, or is it like packed?
It's not packed. People aren't swinging from the rafters. It's 1 o'clock, so there's a couple people that are eating lunch. People are tearing apart some legs of mutton. Some people are getting drunk. The young guys wailing away on the cittern, and there are a couple muffin legs. There are a couple of gnomes playing darts with each other. They're wearing aprons and playing darts. And there are a couple dwarves that seem to have a full-time job of drinking. And there are a few shady teenagers hanging out, and a couple of longshore people that are maybe getting off the third shift, which none of our players know about. And
That's completely foreign.
Yeah. And the whole place has this sort of cruddy, you're in a mine aesthetic.
Titus would take some interest in the longshoremen. being a man of the sea, and would like to take a little bit of advantage of his background, being a sailor, and strike up conversation with the longshoreman.
They walk over there.
I do.
Hmm. May I help you?
Hello, friend. It looks like you've just got off the boats.
Hi, me arms.
Yeah, I'm a man of the sea myself, but when we were walking through the docks on our way here, we noticed that it wasn't close to the shift change, and I was hoping to find someone like yourself here. Wanted to know if you'd seen someone out of place here that wasn't quite authentic and didn't seem like they belonged.
Well, you're the only GIF I ever seen here.
Yeah, besides me, that's irrelevant. We're looking for a human, like a rich folk pretending to be people of the chop. Have you seen anything like that?
I see the loads, and I see my beer. I see you. You smell like the sea.
Indeed. Well, do me a favor. Keep your eyes open, and if you see what looks to be a rich folk pretending to be one of the people of the chop, leave word at the bar for Cyrus, and I'll get the message.
Cyrus. All right, then. My eyes aren't going to be open much longer, I'll tell you. A long shift.
I'll buy him a beer and make sure I give him a beer and with his thanks. And
they kept telling me to work later and later and later, and I told them no, but I had to stay a little.
Those bastards. They'll take it out of you at any time. Anything they can get out of you, they'll just take it. Having you unload the boxes and drive the forklifts, those fucking bastards will just do it to you.
Feels personal.
Then I rejoin the party.
Luce, what are you up to?
Yeah, so a couple of questions. Would I sort of know well, first of all, the Cittern player, does he appear to have a drink near him?
Yeah.
I'd like to see if I can tell what it is and buy myself a drink and take it over and set it next to him. And then would I know sort of the protocol for, like, do you toss a coin on the stage? Does he have a hat out or something like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say that you do all of that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put on a special song.
Yeah, special song.
Yeah.
Getting special treatment.
I'm a very special lady, you know.
And for anyone who's interested, this is a real Cittern, and which is a 1600s instrument from Ireland that a lot of Norwegians play as well, for folk music. So when you place the new drink and you flip the new coin, and you stand there looking all attractive in your red and black bardic gear and holding an instrument of your own, this handsome yet greasy-haired young fellow perks up a little bit and starts playing a little bit more fancily on his cittern, and doing all sorts of finger picking and such, and kind of showing off a little bit. And he gets to about the middle part of the song, he looks over at you and winks. He winks at you. And yeah, and he's playing well.
Awesome. Do I kind of get the sense that that's an invitation for me to also kind of jam with him, or is he more just showing off? I don't want to upstage him or crowd out his gig.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to make men feel threatened with your power. Why don't you roll insight to see if you can pick up the vibes?
All right. 19.
Hopefully you roll an S.
So
It's an S for seduction.
yeah, you get the feeling that he might enjoy you playing with him, but you also, understanding men very well and their pride, you know that you shouldn't do too well.
Yes. I just want to sort of like take my lute out and just sort of, tune it up a bit and then just sort of play kind of like an understated sort of background to his what he's doing.
All right, so I'm gonna have you roll performance, but this will be a little tricky because you want to land right in the middle.
Right.
Go,
Okay.
you go too low, you'll be terrible. You go too high, you're gonna make him feel threatened. So you want to sort of have a middle performance roll.
Okay, here we go.
I feel like a 12 would be perfect.
12. Okay, maybe I won't add my modifiers then. JK. Oh, okay. I'm gonna use my inspiration to re-roll that. If that is okay.
You can, but a lot of men have a savior complex, so
So you think you might go for the really terrible playing?
it could be.
Come up behind you and start helping you be able to hold it correctly.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna just pretend like I don't know what I'm doing.
Go.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, I just clicked the wrong thing, so I'm gonna try again.
You got to be careful. You got to have your hair close to wherever he is, so then he can smell your hair.
An 11.
Yeah, you got an 11. That's right on the money. Which I think will trigger a different Cittern song now. No, it's the same one.
I was hoping for dueling banjos, but that might be a little too.
Yeah, we need a
too
cutscene.
threatening for him.
Yeah. Where we go? Cittern. Where are you, my Cittern? All right. Yeah, so he starts jamming even harder, and he's kind of impressed. He's impressed that you're playing with him, and he sees that you're doing well, but not too well. So this is good, and I'm gonna do a performance roll for him since he's got to support your 11. His adds up to a 12. So
can I give him bardic inspiration so he does a little better?
If you give me a description of how this is given to him.
Give him the butterflies.
Yes, I'm gonna just look super impressed at him and blink my eyes prettily as he plays his little chords there.
All right, so we're gonna add a d6 to his roll. And it was a 1. I tried to re-roll it and it still came a 1. So
well, hopefully he did a little better.
It's a 13 he's playing now. So it's a mediocre duet in a mediocre tavern. And the guy
My kind of people.
The guy needs a better haircut anyway. And a couple people start clapping along to the tune because they've got nothing else to do. And they enjoy it. Somebody throws the silver your way. And as you're playing, he kind of makes eyes at you and plays a little bit more, and there's a little bit of a vibe going, and before you know it, the song is over, and he finishes playing, and he steps down from the crate and says to the room, "Thank you, everyone. I'll be back after a short break." And he turns to you, Luce, and says, "My name is Milo Cahill. A pleasure to meet you." And his voice is strangely posh, given his greasy, unshowered appearance, although he is handsome under the muck and mire.
Okay, given the poshness, I'm going to say, Luciana Pilar del Castillo. Mucho gusto.
And he's officially threatened now because you see you've got such a fancy name and you look so fancy. He's sort of taken aback and he says, "Oh my, well, excellent to meet you, Milo. or we'll say he's intimidated now. I called you Milo. My name's Milo. Your name is Luce. These chat messages are a little distracting. I'd love to not have those.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've got the ADD, and it's knocking me out of my thinking about the story. So the fellow says, "Oh my name's Milo. Wonderful. Well, would you like to go someplace and talk?" And he sort of gestures to a little dark corner.
Oh, yes, I would like that very much.
Oh. And he sort of leads the way over there, and he tries to sit in kind of a lanky, elegant way that he's learned attracts women so far. But you're a little older than this guy. He's kind of like late teens, and you can
Oh, yikes. I didn't realize I was cougering him, but okay.
late teens, early 20s. You can see that you can see his ways. What age is your character again?
No, I'm not that much older. I think I put 24 or something. So
Yeah, come on now.
I was like, if he's gonna be 16 or something, then I'm a little out of this. But if he's early 20s, that's cool. That's cool.
So he kind of posts up, and I'm gonna say he's 19. He posts up.
Be careful, Lou. 16 will get you 20.
Yes,
exactly.
I will have to shit in a bucket for many days.
Do you need my letter?
Yeah, I'm gonna compliment him on his excellent performance, and point out how cool the cistern is, and how does it work? Cistern, not
Cistern. What is happening?
Act like I've never seen one before, and have him explain it to me or whatnot.
Our minds are truly in the gutter tonight.
Yes.
Even the cistern is the cistern.
That's right.
So we'll pause at that conversation and come back to it, and we'll see Eva, Baloran, or Luna. What are you all up to?
Luna would want to kind of sneakily pull out Comet and be like, let me know if you find any of our contacts, and then just kind of like go down, let him drop to the floor, and kind of be able to venture out to see if find anybody that would know secrets, and I know that would be willing to tell me. And then go back over to the bar, like, hey V, I want to talk to you.
So you telling Comet to go look for people that would know secrets in the bar?
People that I know that would share secrets with me, contacts that I've had in the past, if any are even here.
All right. So let's roll perception for Comet. It'll be at advantage, and it'll be +1. And let's see who he finds.
Okay. +1.
Uh-oh. He finds someone.
Do I need to roll again?
No. He finds someone who is sitting with the rakish teenagers, the shady rakish teenagers on down the other side of the room. So he tells you that telepathically right as you're about to start talking to Velta. And Velta's like, so what are you getting yourself into today?
Nothing much, but I am curious what you've been up to.
And she kind of adjusts her eye patch and says, well, running the towering cave. What else is there to do? Everyone's always ready to eat. Everyone's always ready to drink.
Well, I mean, I guess that's good for business.
Yes, long as we keep our doors open. It's hard to make enough money in this city.
Yeah, that's very true. And speaking of making money, have you had any new customers lately, or has it just been the regulars?
There's new customers all the time, I suppose, but the regulars as well.
Anybody wearing a fancy coat?
Mm, no, that lady over there that's talking to our bard is about the fanciest person I've seen in here for a couple of weeks.
Mm, all right. Well, I'll check back in with you in a minute, but I need to go talk to someone.
All right. So you start heading over to talk to the teenager that your mouse identified. And
Yes.
Baloran and Ava, what are you all up to?
Go ahead.
Well, Baloran would have like probably just wandered around, but it's not very big of a tavern from the descriptions, I'm guessing. So he would probably have just kind of sat down and probably just watched to see what the other party members were doing. So he probably would have been like eavesdropping and just looking at what other people were doing as best that he could.
Why don't you give me a insight or a perception roll, and we'll see what you pick up around the room. You're looking at people.
Do you have a preference?
Up to you.
Uh, let's go with perception because I'm worse at it because that's more fun.
All right.
-1. All right, I got a 7. Fat 7.
You can't tell nothing.
From your vantage point.
Can Baloran mishear stuff that was going on and like totally come back later like, oh yeah, I heard you said some really, and like just nonsense, or he just doesn't hear anything?
Yeah. You hear the gnomes that are playing darts. You hear them talking to each other, and they're like, oh, it is so hard to throw a dart correctly. I wish they had more wings on them. We should work together to add more wings to darts to make them more balanced and easier to throw. You know?
Is this set in common or gnomish?
It's in common.
Okay, actually I don't know gnomish. That's it's not on this character. All right, okay. Yeah, I guess that's all it'll really do.
And the other one responds, yes, if we could make these darts more dynamic in the air, they could make more prints on the board and we wouldn't be missing so much. And your ears kind of perk up at hearing missing prints.
Okay. So I'm guessing Baloran would be like kind of half-heartedly listening, and maybe like he would go over to, ask the gnomes. Oh, wait, he's supposed to be secretive about this. I guess he would just pay more attention to the gnomes as they go about their like regular talk. And yeah, I guess that's really all he'll be doing while everyone else is like jamming out and, you know, talking to people at the bar and whatnot.
So you want to ask him about it?
I think Baloran would remember that he's supposed to be secretive,
okay. Yeah.
So he wouldn't be like telling people, so what do you know about the missing prince?
All right. So as they continue to throw darts, you hear them say to each other, yes, we wouldn't be missing so much, and our darts would make more prints on the board when we throw it. Ava, what are you up to?
So I'm kind of torn. Part of me wants to go sit with the dwarves, but part of me just wants to go and totally block loose over there.
You bitch.
But maybe we'll just roll it. Yeah, okay. I don't know what that means. So Ava will I guess she's Ava now. Everybody keeps calling her Ava. Well, Ava will grab her big stein, and she'll go over and she'll plop down next to the dwarves, and in her best dwarvish, which is not very good. What do I want to ask them? I want to ask them. So what is there to do around here for fun?
Drink and sit, says one, and then he kind of looks you over and says, "You're mighty pretty. Would you like to sit in front of me so I have something to look at that's not this beer?"
Wasn't sure whether we were going to have a bar fight, but I guess we are going to have a bar fight. So Ava's still got her pencil out, and as they're talking, she's going to kind of draw another symbol on her face, and she is going to cast Friends, which requires a little bit of makeup. And as she's talking to him, she's kind of trying to sneak in, the incantation, and she's going to kind of smirk at his suggestion and say, maybe I would be more inclined to your offer if you were sitting in front of your friend.
Like, you want me to move over and sit in front of my friend?
Yeah, I think that would definitely entice me to join the two of you.
And you cast it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
like,
trying to
okay,
I'm trying to
that
persuade
sounds like a
him.
great idea. And
it just gives me advantage.
Yeah, I'm not going to have you roll it.
Oh, okay.
It's just more fun if it works.
Sure.
So
Okay.
He's like, okay, that's a great idea. And he moves over and sits across from the other dwarf, and now they're sitting across from each other with beer in their
hand.
I
know. No. I meant sitting together. Like the way he wanted me to sit with him.
Well, I just wanted you to sit in front of me so I could look at you while I'm drinking.
Oh, I thought he wanted me to sit in his lap. Oh, well, it's too late now.
You want me to sit in his lap?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, that one I'll have you roll on.
Sure. Let me try this DDD thing. Okay, hold on. So I have, okay, now there's the 20. $24. Oh, no. How does that work? 26? I'm player 26.
A 16 was the highest of the two dice. So
okay.
You can add your persuasion modifier to it.
Which is the +8. So I was confused because it says player 26, but I guess I'm player 26. So
all right, so you roll a 24 persuasion, and he says, you know what? For a lady like you, I'd be happy to sit in his lap. And he goes and sits in his friend's lap. And his friend is like, what are you doing, Arthur? Get out of me lap.
And as he's doing that, I kind of get up and walk over to Cyrus and see how he's doing. And just totally leave them at their table.
Like you're making friends and influencing people.
And so Arthur, Tomas is like, what are you doing sitting in me lap, Arthur? And Arthur is like, well, she told me it was a good idea. And Tomas is like, get up from me now or we're going to have a fight. And Arthur says, this lady, she told me I should sit here. And Tomas throws his drink in Arthur's face and says, get off me lap, Arthur. And Arthur says, it's not worth throwing a drink in me face. Them's fighting words. And the two dwarfs start fighting each other. And there's about 20 seconds left on this friend spell.
Yeah.
As Eva heads over to Cyrus, who just got done talking with the tired longshore.
Yeah, she's going to go stand behind or beside the 8 foot tall hippopotamus, and just so what's going on over there? I
I'm
don't
just
know.
gonna look at that and go, "That was your handiwork, wasn't it?"
Now, let's cut
Yeah.
let's cut 90 seconds back in time to when Luce sat down with Milo at the table before the fireworks started going off between the two dwarves. And so Luce, you're sitting there with Milo, who is young and gangly and thinks he's very handsome, and he is smoothing his greasy hair and looking at you, and he says, "Well, perhaps I could teach you a lesson on playing music."
Oh yes, that would be very lovely indeed. As you can see, I am a beginner, and I am wishing to learn some more.
Oh, yes, and you're very beautiful too. Perhaps we could do a solo duet.
Oh, that would be yes, I would very much enjoy that.
Oh, really? Wonderful. Well, I do have a room here, of course. You know, as a bard, we are treated very well. Would you like to
Oh,
make some beautiful music together?
oh, yes, perhaps a little bit later. I would like to see you perform some more musically in front of the crowd.
Oh, yes. I would love to perform for you all night long.
Oh my goodness, you are you seem very confident in your abilities, Senor.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I am, and for good reason. So tell me more about yourself, my lady. Are you of
Oh,
noble extraction?
oh well, yes, minor nobility, of course. You sound like you might have some nobility yourself.
Oh, yes. I am blooded indeed. And we're about 30 seconds away from the dwarves starting to punch each other on the other side of the room. Um,
I want to kind of try to start to angle the conversation to like, do you play here a lot, and see if I can kind of get him to start telling me more about maybe if he's seen anything. But probably I'm not going to get quite there in that 30 seconds.
um, has he seen anything out of the ordinary? And I just want to a tiny little metagaming nudge. One of you has a piece of information that I don't think the others have heard, right?
Is
Yeah,
it me? Because I don't think it is me.
I'll
I'm sorry, what was the question? I was distracted by the cat.
no, the cats are always worthy of distraction.
It's a very beautiful cat. I was distracted by it.
I sent I sent a DM to one player. So you ask him if he's seen anything out of the ordinary, and he says, I don't think so. I play here almost every afternoon, and there are, of course, regulars and other players and other people, that come in. But I think irregularity is quite common. I mean, look at you. You're very out of place here.
I laugh at that. Oh, as if he told a joke. Yes, you are correct. I noticed that there are many sort of these sorry, what were they? Rivermen, longshoremen?
Mhm.
Yeah, but also some youth. Is there a quite a young crowd? Is this a regular hangout for them?
Oh, yes. Of course. Yes. Young people hang out here very frequently. Of course, you and I, we too are both young. And when
Well, much
two are
older.
young, when two are young, two should use their energy wisely, I always say.
Oh, I very much agree, but you seem a little more mature than these others here, and I do not doubt that they come to see you. Are they your fans, perhaps?
Oh yes, I know all of them. They know all of my songs. Of course. Yes, they are all my fans.
I am actually you are correct in perceiving that I am out of place here. I am actually looking for my little brother, and I wonder if perhaps he might have been drawn to this place because of your excellent creation of this atmosphere. And I describe the prince and see if he has seen him, without saying, of course, that it's the prince.
All right. So you describe the prince who looks like this, since you all saw a painting of him at some moment or another. And I don't know if I don't think any of you saw Biggs dress up as him, but you described this young 16-year-old blonde guy, and you told him that he was your little brother.
Oh yes.
And he
Well,
said,
he is adopted, of course.
well, that does sound like a familiar face that I may have seen around here. And just as he says that, we hear the telltale sound of fists punching faces across the room.
Violence.
The dwarves get into it. And we will cut over to Luna, who was on her way over to speak with the teenagers before the dwarf fight broke out.
Luna will end up going over to the one person that she knew, and kind of just go, I've never been to college, but I know that the candle was on the left side of the door, which is her way of doing thieves' cant, to see if, like, basically say, hey, I'm looking for somebody. Can you help me?
Sure. So you see your friend Jaden Sheehan, and is a blonde lady of the streets, and of roguish extraction from the chop, a person who you occasionally have teamed up with and traveled around with in this area. And she looks at you and she says, what are you looking for? How can I help you?
Uh, she'll continue saying odd things like that if anybody was to
Yeah,
read
she
into the
says,
conversation, but
says, I took a tree to market, but nobody would buy the leaves. Uh-huh.
right. Um, in my best way, I'll describe what the prince looks like, but not say that it is the prince. And that he hangs out with kids around here. Have you heard of anybody like that, or anybody who is in serious debt with somebody else around his age?
And she says, oh yeah, I saw that guy. I saw a guy like that, little blonde guy, huh? With brown eyes. Oh yeah. Yeah, he comes in here sometimes. He drinks a little bit too much. He's a fun guy. One time he told a story in front of the whole bar. I don't know why he was doing it, but yeah, I saw him. What do you need from him? I don't think he's in debt to anybody. He just he comes in here, he talks to everybody, he seems really interested in people, and then he leaves. I don't know where he lives. Should we rob him?
I don't want to rob the guy. I'm just interested in him. Doesn't he sound cute to you?
I guess. He is a good-looking guy, and he does tell a good story, but I'm not into guys anyway.
I mean, he's not for you anyways. I'm not looking for him for you. I'm looking for him for me. Somebody needs to be the distraction, remember?
Hey, you want a wing lady? I'm here, all right. But yeah, I haven't seen him in a few days.
Do you know where he normally goes after this, or anybody else that would possibly know where he is?
You know, I don't have any idea. This little blonde kid, and then all of a sudden you hear and across the room you see two dwarves that are punching each other, and one of them's yelling, "Why would you sit in me lap?" And the other one's yelling, "She told me it was a good idea." And they're fighting, and then one of them stops and goes, "Now hold on a second there." And he looks over at Eva and Cyrus, who are standing by the longshore people, and he goes, "I think she used magic on me." And the other one says, the other one just punches him in the back of the head and is like, "You don't sit in me lap without consent," and punches him in the back of the head. And the fellow in the front falls down on his face, and he gets up and points at the other one and says, I I I think she used magic on me. And at that point, Velta comes up with the eye patch and basically hits the one that's laying on the ground in the head with the tankard again, with a tankard, and lays him out. And then she looks at both of them and says, "You're not going to be fighting in my bar. Now you get out of here and you don't come back for a week." And the one who's still conscious says, "But Velta, he was sitting in me lap." And Velta says, "We don't run a violent establishment. Now get out of here. I'll see you next time, Tomas. No fighting." And Tomas drags Arthur out the door, and things settle down a little bit more. Baloran, what are you up to?
He's just watching, like, seeing these two dwarves punch each other. The people come up and lay him out, throw him out, and um, he's not trying to make any kind of presence known or get into any kind of scuffle or fight or anything. He's just like, just normal everyday life in a bar, I guess. And he gave up on listening to the gnomes after realizing they were just talking about darts. And he's just chilling.
All right. So let's see. So you all have been talking to some folks. One of you talked to the bard, who said that he saw the prince in here, or somebody who looked like the prince. Luna's been talking to Jaden, who said that she's seen him in there before.
Drinking too much and telling loud stories.
But not in a few days.
Yeah, and Ava caused a ruckus.
I thought he was coming on to me a little too strong, and Ava don't put it that way. I totally misunderstood the situation. But that's what Ava does.
Yeah. Well, you're still in the bar, and you've got a mystery to solve. So,
Quick meta question. This Fiad Charles, did Baloran share that information with us?
So when I was talking to the prisoner, you guys were, as far as I know, directly next to me.
Oh, I
She
thought
was
we were
talking
hanging
to
back.
me. I thought you guys were right next to me, but if you weren't, then Baloran would have relayed the message. But like, as far as I knew, you guys were literally standing right next to me, and I was like trying to like engage with you guys. I'm like, is this good or whatever? And so that's why like the prisoner was like, why are you talking to them? Because if I wouldn't have been able to talk to you guys if you were like where Biggs was or whatever.
Got it. Okay. I thought we were yeah, I can't remember the details. So who is she? What did we hear? What did you share with us about her?
So I'm not sure how to pronounce that. You said Thea?
Yeah, it's Fia.
All right. Anyway, she was the one that contracted the assassins to kill the queen.
Okay.
Specifically, only the queen said nothing about the prince.
Got it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Cyrus, but we weren't necessarily standing right next to. We were standing kind of behind, but in earshot, and we were attempting to take notes on the amazing performance that was happening in front of us. Right?
Cyrus.
We were taking. I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
Whenever Baloran was interrogating, we were kind of behind him, talking to
Yes.
ourselves about how
Yeah.
amazing the performance was and doing
That's it.
mental notes,
Right. Right.
but not
Yeah.
necessarily right up at him, just kind of still within earshot, but a little bit back.
I had to say, I think we took a couple steps back and off to the side
Mhm.
to give him not the spotlight, kind of the right of way in the conversation. He was the focal point. We were off to the side.
Right.
Yeah. That's how I understood it.
Okay. Well, I misunderstood, but even so, the prisoner was yelling literally everything. So the entire prison knows the name Thea Charles now.
And Maximilian.
All right, so you all know this name. And if you were listening to everything that the prisoner was screaming, then you heard that the prisoner was sent to kill the queen or die trying, that they made a pact with Fia Charles to do so. I don't think you got many more specifics than that out of.
I could probably hear the screaming from my cell.
Yeah. So everybody know.
Except for Biggs, because he was on a completely different floor, unless the screaming went through the floor or something.
Well, he's not here, so we don't care.
Right.
So, all right. So you all have that information, and I guess who was last to do the real last to do something person was Cyrus. Cyrus finished talking to some longshore people. Ava came up next to you, and some dwarves were kicked out of the bar. Cyrus, what are you up to next?
I do stand out, like they said. I was trying to approach somebody that would be familiar to me for the information. We all kind of tried to work our various angles. I think at this point, I would be looking to see if I could support anyone else's activities going on in the bar.
All right. Well, you see Luna standing by some teenagers. You see Baloran just sort of staring creepily around at everybody. You see, Luce hitting on a bard, and you see Ava standing right next to you. Who do you want to support, or what do you want to do?
I think I'll mention to Ava. Ava, perhaps we should go see what's going on with Baloran over there. He looks a little forlorn.
I tried to help out. I tried to cause a distraction, and maybe one of the others has found out some things already.
Oh, your distraction was fantastic. I thought I liked
Thank
it.
you.
Dwarves, they don't even have an excuse to fight, as far as I know. And you give them just the
No,
spark
they
need.
glug glug glug. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and then she takes a big glug 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 out of her stein.
Let's go over there with Balorn and see if he needs to get into any trouble.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
y'all
I know.
took over to Baloran.
Lauren would be like, he would look up at Cyrus and be like, I noticed you talking to some longshoremen. Any leads over there?
None. They had just gone off their shift, and the only thing they were getting the only thing they were getting in the bottom of was their ale. I left word that if they'd seen anyone out of place, to leave word at the bar, but I don't. That well may be dry.
Did the prisoner, when he was screaming, kept me up? I was trying to sleep. Did he give a description of that name he kept yelling?
Nope.
No description.
I think
Nah,
it was just the
It's
name.
Lauren looks around. He's like, "Why don't we ask the barkeep? They tend to keep tabs, no pun intended, on people who frequent the place." And then
you gotta
he'll
go.
kind of get up and walk under Cyrus and go to the bar.
You walk through the towering forest of hippo legs, uh, over to the bar. Eva, beautiful yet defaced, joins you.
As we're walking, because I know Velta has an issue, I'm gonna take that letter from the Queen out of my pocket, and I'm just gonna try and like wipe off my face, but I probably am gonna make it worse. It's because it's like a grease pencil, so
You look
it's I
like
look I look like
Robert Downey
Justin Trudeau
Jr.
now.
You look like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
David got it.
What is happening?
You end up with half a face of ink and half a face with no ink, and
Valoran will be like, I can help you with that if you want.
Oh yes, please, yes. Thank
So
you.
then he uses the soil part of
Oh, to make it even.
prestidigitation.
To make it
Yeah,
even.
to make it
Oh
even.
yeah, no, that's perfect. That's
now you look
perfect.
like a football player with the two things under her eyes.
Okay.
All right, so y'all head over to the bar, and who's doing what over there?
I was going to let
Valoran,
Cyrus finish his turn, but go ahead. Sorry.
I'm good. That was
Valoran's
Valoran, yeah.
gonna look up at Ava and be like, "So I noticed you did a little parlor trick earlier with the dwarves. Think you could do it on the barkeep?"
Uh, that depends. It doesn't tend to last very long. How
Well, if I'm
badly
any
do you,
good at what I do, it won't need to take that long.
how badly do you want us to get kicked out of here?
Well, you were close at getting us kicked out once already. Let's see what kind of mayhem we can
But
cause if we.
it only works for me. Do you want me to ask her something?
You
He,
understand you know how the friend spell works. You're a DM, so you know. He
well,
knows.
no, I know, but it doesn't mean that Valoran does. He doesn't have
Right,
that
yeah, I know,
spell.
yeah, and that's why I was trying to explain it, that it seems to make people more open to my charms.
He's gonna say, "Perfect! I have a spell just like that. So go ahead and use it."
On you?
No, not on me. I already find you fascinating.
Uh,
I'm
well,
gonna walk over towards Luna. Towards Luna at this point. It sounds. I'm just gonna just grumble. I don't know about this. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna go there.
I think we're all gonna
Luna.
walk over towards Luna. Let's cut back to Luna's conversation with Jaden as
sure.
the hippo is thumping over there. Um,
I don't
so
know.
Luna, what are you up to as you're talking with Jaden?
Really just trying to ask if she has no idea any more information. Can she at least point me in the direction of somebody who might know more information? But again, speaking in thieves can't, so it's just like I've never been in a dungeon that didn't have a mimic. Like,
And she says, "The water spouts are very shiny in the rain on a Tuesday," uh, meaning that she's got nothing else to share with you regarding this young blonde person that she's seen in the bar once in a while.
yeah. Well, knowing my people speak money, she'll pull out a coin and just kind of like touching it to her head a little bit as like a signal of like, I will pay you if you can point me to anyone who would have more information.
You
But
can
again, thieves can't of nonsense.
roll insight.
That is my insight. It's 3. 10. Average.
Yeah, she tells you that she doesn't know anything, and she doesn't know who would be paying special attention to this one guy and following him around and trying to figure out who he is. She's sorry, but she can't help you.
Well, she'll end up giving her um once we'll do 1 silver just cuz she's been helpful at least this far, giving a little bit of information, and they are friends and she wants to stay that way.
She says, "It's uh she uh she says she says that it's always good to see you, and she gives you the silver piece back, and she gives you a little wink too."
So I come up
You know,
on.
you've always been my favorite.
So I lumber up to Luna and her friend talking, and I'm like, "Ah, friend. Any friend of Luna is a friend of mine. Is this? I'm not interrupting, am I?"
The young lady looks up at you suspiciously, and then she looks at Luna.
Luna's definitely gonna look like a teenage girl that just had their dad walk up while texting, like, Todd, I'm talking. But we'll quickly
Oblivious to
brush that off.
oblivious to all thieves' cant and teenager social cues, I'm just gonna pull up a stool and introduce myself. I'm Cyrus. I'm a bit new in the town here, and we're trying to unsolve them. We're trying to solve a mystery.
Uh, and the young lady will look at you and say, uh, "Hey, I'm Jaden. Luna, you know this guy?"
Yeah, I know this guy. He what can I say? This guy's very attractive and I just want to find him. He's a big cutie. I gotta have friends somewhere. So I asked him for help along with a few others that are also in this bar. And yes, I know them and we've spent 12 maybe hours together. But they seem nice. They seem nice.
That's quite the bond we have. You've asked her about what's his name, have you? And I kind of
So
look at
we'll cut from
Luna.
that conversation over to Luce, who is talking to the bard. The bard has stood up, looking like he wants to involve himself in the fight between the two dwarves, but something also belies that he's only trying to look tough. And then he looks over at you, Luce, and says, "Well, I've we don't see fights like that too often here. I was worried I'd need to break them up." And he sort of tries to look muscular, but he's not.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put a hand on his arm and be like, "Oh, please do not hurt them. Oh, I am sure you are. I'm sure. What's your name? Velta is very lucky to have you around to keep the peace."
And he looks over at Velta, and he almost looks like a little afraid of her. Uh, and then he looks back at you and says, "Well, I'm always happy to protect you, and of course, well, Luce, it's a pleasure to meet you. Should we play a duet publicly once more?"
I would love that, but you are so wise and worldly. I just have one other question for you. You see, my mother sent me here to look for my little brother, and she is she's very paranoid. She thinks that he is falling in with the wrong crowd, that he is under the influence of some kind of charlatan, and she somehow she got in her mind the name Fia. Do you happen to know anyone around here who goes by that name? Might be someone who influences children who are impressionable.
He says, "Oh, of course, Fia Charles. Yes,
Oh,
you've
you
heard of
know
her?
her.
Have you heard her speak?"
No, I don't know. I like I said, only heard rumors. I was given the impression that she was some sort of a bad influence, but am I wrong about this?
Well, it really matters what you think of as bad, does it not? Uh,
I suppose
I
you're
I
very
would
wise.
I would say she's a good influence. You haven't heard about the speeches she's been giving in the chop.
Oh no, like I say, I'm not from here. I am very new in town and quite sheltered.
Oh, well, uh, Fia used to give speeches in the chop about how dueling should be abolished. I'm sure you're aware that all young people in Elenia Toth must duel in order to become adults. And Fia would give speeches about how this practice should be abolished. And many people gathered to hear her speak. She's very charismatic. Why, she could be a bard with one of us. And but she disappeared about a month ago. Has stopped giving her speeches. Not sure where she went. But
Oh,
in any case, I don't want to talk about other women, Luce. I want to talk about you.
well, I would love to do that. Let us play for this crowd one more time, and you can really show me some of your techniques on that interesting instrument you have there.
Of course, of course. Let's play a little bit. I really need to get back up and start playing. These breaks, you take too long of a break and you'll be replaced by someone else. Perhaps you're angling for my job, hey?
Oh, you're very funny.
I'll play this next one just for you. We'll talk more after. And then he hops up and he starts playing again.
Okay, cool. So do I take that to mean he does not want me to play a duet with him?
You can roll insight.
Okay. Oh, I got a 4 on that one.
You can't tell. It kind of sounds like he wants to play by himself to start off, since he just made that comment about his job. So he gets up there and starts playing, and at least one person is sort of clapping along with him. But as he's playing, he looks over at you and kind of gives you a look once in a while. See if you're feeling what he's doing. Let's go back to Chaos Land. Ava and Baloran over at the bar. What are you all doing?
So,
Go ahead.
Baloran's trying to convince Ava to cast what is it, Friends? Because Baloran thinks that it's Charm Person.
Mm-hmm. So let's see where this Keystone Cops of Magic is headed.
So, uh, Ava will kind of nod and give Lauren a wink with her a dirty face, and she's going to call Velta over and hold out her stein, asking for a refill. So she'll and toss her a silver, because she definitely doesn't want to get kicked out with a bar tab.
Velta will thank you and give you alcohol.
Before you go, she's going to take out her pencil and she's going to start drawing on her face, but she's not going to cast a spell, but she's going to make it look like she is for Lauren.
Should I roll some kind of like insight check or like
Arcana, maybe?
I think it's either perception or arcana.
Let's go with, I think, perception, because I'm terrible at that.
Yeah, I'll do a perception roll to see if you know that Ava is fake casting a spell. And Ava, why don't you give me a performance roll just for the heck of it?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, where did my DDD dice go?
All right, I got a nat 1, but I'm a halfling.
Okay, lucky for now.
I didn't do much better.
What'd you get?
8.
8. All right, I'm loading my dice back up so now I can see stuff again.
So I got a 5.
You got a 5, and Ava got an 8.
Yeah.
So Ava, you successfully make him think that you're casting something on the bartender.
Sure. Maybe I say a couple words in Dwarvish. Well, no, I won't even say anything. I'll just, I'm doing the pencil thing, and I'm gonna while I'm looking at Velta, I'm gonna say, uh, listen, I don't know what that dwarf was talking about, but maybe you can help me out. I just I'm supposed to do a job, and I'm supposed to deliver something to someone, Fiat Charlie. I have a letter for her, and I kind of, wave the letter from the Queen around. You wouldn't happen to know where she is, right? She's supposed to be a regular here.
Roll persuasion on her.
Yeah. 24.
She says, "Well, I'm glad you cleaned your face. I'll tell you what. Not many people know, but Fia, she's got a little camp up the northwest, north of Krinthatala. That's where all the people are that like listening to her talk. You might have noticed there's a fewer young people in this area the last month. She's got a little group up there. But then again, you probably already know that since you know her and you're giving her a letter.
No. Someone paid me to give her a letter. I've never actually met her.
Well, I think if you want to deliver a letter to her, you're going to have to walk a couple days to the northwest of town.
And you said it was Kalinta Navar?
North of Krinth Atala.
Krinth Atala.
To the northwest, and I'll type that in the Zoom chat for now, because that's the closest thing at hand. He said it's to the northwest of town, north of Krinth Atala. And while we're absorbing that information, let's go back to Luna and Cyrus, who are dad joking with the teenager Jaden. So Jaden is like, "Hey, okay, nice to meet you, Cyrus. Yeah, well, good luck helping Luna find this guy she wants a date with. I don't know why you got multiple people looking for a guy to go on a date with, but to each their own." And she kind of you see her give a look at a particularly curvy young lady that is among the young people, and then she says, "To each their own."
Luna is gonna try to do like the whole sneakily try to look behind and see the person, and then kind of like give a face of satisfaction as well, just like go for it. But she'll just follow it up with like, "My mama's away, so keep your beds oiled." Basically just trying to tell her, "Hey, if you hear anything, let me know."
And she says, "Hey, I left all my toothbrushes underneath the bed. I got snakes in the pantry. There's a withering palm within the cave of regrets." And then
I'm
goes,
looking at what was in this beer because I don't understand a fucking thing.
and then she goes and sits next to the lady she was looking at and tries to casually throw an arm around her.
Nice.
So Baloran and Ava are standing in front of the bartender. Luce has been left by the bard who's playing music. Cyrus is standing next to Luna, and you all just got left by Jaden. Who's doing what at this point?
Lauren would probably track down Cyrus and Luna, and you know, I mean, he wouldn't exactly whisper because Cyrus is like 8 feet tall and he's like comes up to his ankles. So even when sitting, but he would you know go like this, and hopefully if you guys leaned in, he'd be like, "Hey, we got to lead."
Ah, that's fantastic.
Um, and also while he's like going over to Cyrus, he would actually probably take the pen and like a piece of the parchment out from his map case and poke himself to use the blood to scribble down Krinth Atala to the northwest. He would probably mutter under his breath, "I could have used the damn ink, bastards."
You see some people giving you a side eye as you do that to yourself.
Eh, take a temporary hit point, whatever.
Okay. So you write that on the piece of paper and you show it to the other people?
No, I stuff it back in my map case and then I just let them know that we have a lead and that I just kind of want to get them out of earshot of other people. And then, you know, if Cyrus and Luna come with, then I'll go get Luz, and Ava's just wherever, whether she followed me or not.
Ava's still at the bar. She's got a fresh pint.
Hmm.
You'll find that Baloran really doesn't care. He's just he's not really motivated to like he's motivated to like work with people, but like he's not friendly.
You guys want to take a 5-minute break?
Sure.
Sure.
We got
Sounds
about
great.
40 minutes to an hour left, so we'll take a little. Oh, we got a reason
Aw.
to take a break here.
Yeah.
Hi.
Here.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi.
What's her
Okay.
name?
The shyness.
This is Lillian. She's my oldest. You say hi.
What's her age there?
She's 4.
Oh wow, 4. You're 4 years old. Great. All right, well, let's take a 5-minute break. Anybody got to feed their cats or change their laundry or do something else like that? I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Laundry
Alright.
at 3 a.m. Yeah, neighbors would love me.
So while we're waiting for everybody to come back and us start up, is there anything that anybody wants to talk about or vent about their week?
Not really.
Go ahead.
Yes. That was less an invitation, more of a consent form.
I love this question. But as David has stated, we come here to forget about our real lives. But I think a little bit of human interaction is helpful. I'm just really annoyed that I can't make any money as a talent manager when everyone's on strike. But this is being recorded, so I'll say I want everybody to be paid what they're worth, and I love strikes. So, speaking of strikes, let's stop being on strike from playing as long as Baloran is back.
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot you were recording.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm just waiting for everyone else to be back too.
My social security number is 12 12 12 12 12 12. And my the combination to my safe is 52. Here's my kid. She's asleep. She's asleep in her little diaper today because she was really hot when she got home because it's 99 here. All right. So
I was muted. We've had a lot of thunderstorms this week, which my dog just hates. And normally he'll come and sleep in the office behind me because there's no windows in here.
is it 100 degrees in Canada too?
No, it's 17 real units of measurement.
No, my American brain can't comprehend such numbers.
When I was in the US, that was the only thing I couldn't switch. Miles per hour is easy because it's all relative, but temperature could never do.
All I remember from my time in Australia is if it was over 40, it was way too stinking hot. That's it. That's all I can remember. So 17 sounds great.
Oh yeah. No, even 30 without AC is because I work from home, but yeah, when it hits like 30, well, I have AC now, but when I didn't, it was nuts.
So I realized I always get confused with the 11:40 PDT start time. 2:10 a.m. PDT is actually my boundary end of the game time. It's 2.5 hours exactly. But let's play a little bit more and see what happens because turns out D&D is fun. So you guys are in the tavern here. Everything's painted to look like rocks. There are actually some things that look like geodes and crystals that are set around the room. And after all that research you've been doing, it's still only like 1:30, 1:45 in the afternoon. And I think you all were sort of in the process of getting together to put your heads together about what you discovered. So I'm gonna zip my lips and let you do that if that's what you are up to.
So if I may, Luce, as the bard starts playing, is going to sort of be the hype girl for a second, do a couple of woos and claps, and try to get some other people to kind of get more engaged. And then as soon as he is distracted and looking away from her, I want to cast Disguise Self and try to make myself look like Biggs's human disguise self and try to just sort of slip away from his notice and approach Cyrus and Luna and
and someone yells out the name of Biggs's human disguise self.
Oh crap!
Great to see you.
I just give like a angry kind of a a tough guy nod.
Eva yells from the bar, "Play Freebird!" and everyone like boos, and Luce gets a chance to.
Excellent cover for me there.
Are you you're casting disguise self?
Yeah.
All right. All right, yeah. So the bard is standing there and he's looking all slick and stuff, and his attention is distracted for a moment, and he looks back, he doesn't see you. And he looks kind of sad, and his playing gets less good. And he sort of slumps down onto his stool. He sort of slumps down onto his stool and takes a breath as he's playing the guitar. Just another afternoon. Nothing special happening for Milo Cahill.
I'll try to locate Cyrus and be like, "It is not Biggs, it is me, Luce. I think it is time for us to leave here and compare notes."
Hey, and apparently we've got a lead, so let's get out of here.
Go ahead.
There were other teenagers at that table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they seem to have understood what me and Jaden were talking about?
Well, you were talking to Jaden separately in Thieves' Cant, and then there was like a table of teenagers that she went over and joined.
Okay, so the table that we were currently at, it was just me and her until Cyrus came over.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, finishing what she has done, she'll follow the group and be totally fine with leaving.
So I have a meta question.
Is that a question about a question?
No, it's a question about how spells work in D&D.
Copy that.
Luce has cast Disguise Self. Does that disguise the little orb thing? Because technically it overlays everything over you, as far as I understand.
It's not part of what she's wearing. It's floating above her, and it's not of her creation. It's something that's following her around.
Okay. All right. So in that case, Valoran would be like, "We have a lead," and then Luce would come over. I'd be like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, you make yourself, including your clothing, armor, weapons, and other belongings on your person, look different. None of that is not her belonging. That is somebody else's spell that's floating around with her.
Okay.
So Valoran doesn't recognize you.
Yeah, Luce just realized that he's never seen Biggs in his human disguise, and was hoping that the disguise would put everyone at ease. So she just says, "Oh, I am Biggs in disguise, but I'm also Luce in disguise, but I am really Luce. But we must leave."
Valoran's gonna like count on his fingers, like trying to figure out what you said, and just nod and be like, "Okay, you've got the orb. Let's go."
I forgot about the orb. That would have been helpful to remember. I could have turned into absolutely anyone, and you would have known I was okay.
So the painted rocks of the towering cave vomit forth the group of five into the 1:30 p.m. Dusty sunlight of the chop. Everything is falling apart and shabby in this area, and you are there. What are you up to?
Is it assumed I share our lead at this point if we're outside of the tavern?
I think Eva would as well. You start talking and she jumps in and you both kind of share it.
Okay, so a lot happened. So recap what you're sharing.
All right.
Please.
So
Sorry.
Valoran Baloran would say we talked to the or Baloran would say this. This 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 gross lady over here used some kind of trickery on the barkeep, and we've managed to steal out the information of a camp called Krinthatala that's up due northwest from here, a couple days travel, where Fia Charles is out, you know, rabble rousing, trying to turn people against the queen.
So you want me to?
Yes, he just called me that. No, I'm not going to do anything about it. Sorry, go ahead.
Baloran, you wanted to communicate accurate information about what you heard, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just edit that for you. They said that Fia has a camp that is to the north of a village called Krinthatala. That a lot of people in this region would be familiar with this village. It's a sheep shearing village. And she said that Fia was in a camp to the northwest of Krinthatala.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
And
okay.
Eva would chip in. So the camp is northwest of town. It's north of Krinthatala. And all the young people, apparently, they're following this fade out Charlie. Have all gathered there. It's a couple of days walk away out of town.
So I'm going to piggyback on that and be like, oh, yes, I have learned that Fia Charles has been giving very charismatic speeches to rally support for her cause, but that she has not been seen in some time, almost a month. She has not given any speeches.
Do we think maybe, you know who would have been drawn to her and maybe ran away to join her cult?
I think it is very possible.
Revolution? What are we going to call it?
Yes, I think that is the working theory at this time. But I do not think the attempt on the Queen's life happening at the same time she was sending someone to look for her son is a coincidence. Whatever the connection is, Fia, I think, is our best lead.
Maybe, well, I mean, it doesn't make sense for the prince to I mean, he's next in line to the throne, right? Why would he sabotage? Well,
Maybe he's impatient.
If his mother dies, he comes into power. He can change the law about dueling.
Or this Fayad woman kidnapped him and used him to get information on how to get to the queen for her assassins. We don't. Yeah, maybe he's an unwilling. Maybe he's a hostage.
So was everybody just cool with the whole thing of the prince being really into poisons? Is everybody just cool with that? Are we forgetting that fact?
I had forgotten that fact. Thank you for reminding
me. I had
me.
completely forgotten that fact.
What else did your investigation of his room yield as information?
Dust. Lots of fucking dust.
Like horses.
How does it taste? We believe that from the things we saw, the evidence points to the prince leaving of his own volition, but trying to maybe possibly make it look like someone broke in and took him. Our working theory is he is a runaway, not a captive.
Are we so sure he'd run away into the hands of those who would kill his parents?
Have you ever wanted to kill your parents? When
Not
I was
all
that
the time.
age, I wanted to.
I still, no, never mind.
You know, not incriminating myself in any way, but people that tend to do sketchy things don't always tell you the truth. So there's a high probability that he didn't even know.
About what? The assassins?
Didn't know what?
About the assassination.
Yes,
It could just clearly be, hey, you're a boy that needs to go through this. He's like, I don't want to go through this. And she's like, well, if you follow me, then you will never have to go through this. I will fix the problem. And he's like, that sounds great, but just leaves out the part where the plan is to kill her.
I do not understand these youth. I agree that no one should be forced to duel, but if only they understood what a character building experience it is, perhaps they would change their minds. Anyway,
I mean, who wants to
I don't know.
grow
I
up
don't see what the big deal is about Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyways.
Pal, you already have inspiration, right?
I earned inspiration last session, but have spent it, so I don't think I am
Oh,
in the running for
you
any
just got it
inspiration.
back. I enjoyed your role play of your character's thoughts on dueling,
Oh, gracias.
and some of your other thoughts. So you get your inspiration back.
Muchas gracias.
Also, your remembering to ask about Fia Charles was pretty baller.
I had completely forgotten for a moment, but luckily I saw it in the chat and went, oh yeah, that's what we were supposed to ask about. By the way, I'm going to, as an action, switch back into my regular appearance as we are walking and talking. And I'm going to say, Cyrus, do you think it's possible that Fia Charles was the leader of the group that attacked the queen? Do you think she is already dead?
Do I think, yes, two questions there. Do I think that Fia Charles was the leader of the group that attacked the queen? I
Yes,
believe that's what we were told
the one
by
in
the
the throne,
prisoner.
the one in the throne room, I mean, the actual group that attacked the queen, the one I killed and disguised myself as. Is it possible that was Fia Charles, the spellcaster?
It's very logical. I could follow that train of thought for sure.
Lauren pipes in, you know, we probably should have asked for a description.
How long ago did these assassination attacks happen?
Yesterday.
What happened 3 days ago?
You were supposed to pick me up.
Yes, this one's friend told him that we would be coming, of course.
Of course. And I didn't try and kill the queen. I was in jail. I have an alibi.
But to answer your question, I think it is entirely possible.
I
Plausible.
thought for a moment about getting my my bard friend alone and disguising myself as her to see his reaction, but I was afraid I would have to sleep with him, and I did not care to do that.
You were going to
So-
disguise yourself as Fia?
As the spellcaster I killed yesterday,
Ah.
see if he recognized her. But
So, Lauren would like to pipe up with an idea, and I'm looking now to see if it's. Could I take the team, the party, to my temple and kind of ask for help with a spell? Oh no, this wouldn't work. All right. Though I'm not sure he would know that. So all right, Baloran's gonna look at the party and be like, this may surprise you, but I am a acolyte of Fetlan, and I serve at the temple in the city. Now, I have a little bit of sway in the temple. Perhaps they might be able to service us some divination magic to try and set straight our path. Would any of you be interested in such a thing, or should we just travel on to the this village Krinth Atala?
I am not at all surprised that you are an acolyte of Fethlan, but if you think you should consult with your god, let us do it.
He would look at Luce and give a nod and just kind of like arms up like this, like anyone else? Or do you think it would be too much a distraction? I mean, as much as any place like a tavern, the less fortunate folk tend to find solace and wander into the temple. Maybe they might have some other information we could ask about.
Bellon, I thought your ideas with the prisoner going into the cells was on point, and I think once again you may have come up with a good idea to seek divine guidance. Certainly, I seek divine guidance from the stars and the sea, and I think I would not stand between a man seeking guidance from his higher power. I think you might be onto something here.
Can I scan anybody that's in the general vicinity to see if anybody seems to be slightly more interested than usual seeing a group of people like this? Like if somebody is actually trying to stalk us?
You may. You can roll perception.
I should have an opinion on your suggestion, but I don't yet. So.
Perhaps the spirit that guides you might guide you to my temple.
Jake and I are still working that out.
If you're a follower of Fetlan, you're a follower of Fetlan. There are followers of Fetlan in every country, and there are all sorts of different ways to follow Fetlan. So, the experiences you had could be in any place, but Fetlan is Fetlan.
Yeah, she's she's reluctant, right? She's a reluctant follower, and so I don't want to avoid the place, but I don't want to. I don't know yet whether I would think that would be a good idea or a bad idea. So I'll just
do you like share that at all, or do you?
No.
Okay.
No. I will just say that Ava has taken her stein that she just ordered out of the bar and is currently halfway to being sloshed, and just leave it there.
So as we're walking, I want to get close to Baloran and say, "What is this spirit that you were talking about with Eva there?"
Baloran would just look at him and be like, look at her and be like, she's always talking over her shoulder. I mean, I talk to spirits too as well. They're not always so easily seen, but if you ask me, she's had a little too much to drink before she got started.
I'm going to say, "You mean to tell me you do not see the 6-foot rabbit that has been following her around this whole time? His name is Harvey."
He's going to be shocked and looked, and he's going to be shocked and look like.
And then I'm just going to wink and just be like, "Just kidding. I'm messing with you, my friend."
Be like, ah.
But when you were doing that, Cyrus uses his blind sight to look around and really, damn it,
Luna, you don't pick up on anybody who appears to be stalking you or examining you closely. You are a strange group to be standing around in this quite slummy area. A couple of you fit in more than the others, but overall look pretty strange. And people who have those Queen's business orbs floating over their shoulders might not always be welcome in all parts of the chop.
People are always watching me as I go by because I'm fabulous looking.
Hell yeah. So we're coming close to the end of the session here. I'd like to get a clear signal from the group as to where they're headed, so I know where we're starting off next time.
I felt
Like
I
the
thought we were
idea
going
of,
to the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
you're good. It's just I like the idea of traveling to that camp.
I
Yeah,
go ahead.
I I kind of think we have a destination. I don't know, other than maybe getting some history on this fade fade
Bedlam.
Thea.
Yeah.
Um, maybe learning a bit more about her before we go in. Like, is she a noble? Is she a member of parliament? Like, what's her deal? We didn't really get that in the bar. And certainly probably didn't get that from the prisoner. We could definitely pursue that. I don't know. I don't think it would change our destination though.
If you guys want to ask around, I can give you more information about Fia without RPing it. If you ask around in the chop, you'd be bound to find some more information.
Yeah,
Probably
for
be good.
sure.
Maybe the youngest looking one of us.
Just to answer your original question, it was my understanding. I had thought the group had decided, but I may be misinterpreting, that we were going to go to Baloran's temple on our way to this camp. But if I am wrong,
Right.
then you may correct me.
Well, it sounds like a couple people think, hey, let's just go directly to the camp, and a couple people think, let's go to the temple and ask them, for a ritual to tell us whether that's the direction to go or what direction to go in. So
Well, me as like John's not in a hurry and would be fine going to the temple. I think Ava would probably be like looking for a horse.
Are they in different directions, or is that also kind of on our way? Because if it's on our way, then
Well, I think his temple's in the city, and the camp was 3 days outside of the city, so it's probably
right.
just a minor detour.
the temple is in the city. The camp that they were talking about, the village that they were talking about, is outside the city. It's a couple days.
So
Because I saw the
I-
temple district on his map was on the west side of the city.
yeah, I as a player and character, like I don't think that either me or Baloran or whatever would really care either way. But I think it would be interesting if like somehow we had some way of like settling it in character, like we like drew straws or something.
Well, let's do a structured in character interaction. We'll go around and say what your character thinks we should do next, and that'll be a vote, and that'll tell us where the arrow is getting shot. So, where does Luce want to go from here?
As I said, I think it is a good idea for you to consult your gods, but if we are consulting gods, I will consult mine. I would happily flip a coin or leave it up to chance to determine what we should do next. For Jaith, he's the god of chance.
Luna, what do you think?
I think if you guys want to go worship whatever, go for it. I think I need to talk to a few of my contacts, and I can meet y'all at one of the temples.
Okay, we're getting into splitting the party. Let's try I think we should probably avoid that, or just seeing what people want to do. But Lauren, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the Sun temple? Do you want to go to the just
Lauren's gonna be like, "Hey, it looks like the temple's not the most popular place in this crowd. No surprise. I have my own reservations, but of course, clerics' powers can't really be discounted, and a little bit of divination can go a long way. I suggest we try to at least use, what I have in my wheelhouse to divine whether or not it's even a good idea to follow this lead.
You have the spell augury.
I don't, but I should be able to petition a cleric from my acolyte background.
All right, so you want to go to the temple.
And just to be clear, sorry, just to be clear, in case I didn't make it clear in the RP, Luce is not suggesting going to her temple. Her god is chance. So if we're talking about drawing straws or flipping coins to see what we do next, like she's up for that is all.
All right, very good. Cyrus, what does Cyrus want?
It seems like our we're following the stars, and this is the advantage of being a holy warrior of the stars. Is my gods are always around me. It seems like we have our destination, and our course is set to head to the camp. If we'd like to stop along the way, that's fine too with me. I'm wouldn't want to stop between anybody and their faith. That is for sure. So I want to support Ballerin if he'd like to make a stop. But I think it's clear where we're headed. We're just seeking a little validation on the way.
I like the RP on how that was phrased, setting your course. Ava, what does Ava want?
So Ava will agree with Lauren. If we're going to be on horseback or on foot for the next 3 days, a little bit of cleric guidance on what the weather would be nice. Would be nice. And then she's going to turn and she's going to speak in a language that I don't think anybody else here speaks. I probably not. Does anybody else here speak this, Jake?
I will check some character sheets in order to not reveal your question. My assumption is no, but I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I didn't
give a quick look here. Do, 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 do. Oh, yep. Somebody else speaks it.
You want to tell me who, and then maybe I can just DM them.
You can just say it, and people who don't speak the language will just pretend they didn't hear it.
Oh well, now I got to make it up.
Just say it and come. I mean, just say it and.
Well,
oh yeah, no, I will now because
think about what it is you're going to say. We're going to do two things while you're thinking about it.
Okay.
Luce, you're going to flip a coin. You want to go evens? Just head to this camp you heard about. Odds, go to the one of these temples and do some divine stuff.
If that is agreeable to the party, yes.
It's your religious thing. You're going to flip a coin as to see what you think.
Okay. Yep. Evens. Yeah. What did you say? Evens, camp, odds, temple.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Roll a d20 and let's see what your gods tell you.
Okay. Nat 20, baby.
So you are
What
now
a waste of a nat 20.
You are now really sure that going directly towards this camp is a good idea because you flipped a coin, and whatever a nat 20 is when you're flipping a coin, that's what you got. So it's
You get both sides at the same time.
It landed right. Exactly.
It landed heads. It landed heads, and then it flipped again and came up heads again.
Heads again. Exactly.
So you're feeling really strongly about heads now. And then Luna, you wanted to talk to your contacts. So I would say I'm not going to RP the people you're talking to, but you're going to talk to people in the street about Fia Charles and stuff.
Yeah, just in passing, not to make a whole thing of it.
So some people haven't heard of her or this, while others have. And they tell you basically what you've heard already, that she's a person from the Chop whose brother was killed in a duel, and she's been giving speeches around the Chop about changing laws and changing the government and making it so that it's not required for people to duel in order to become an adult. And more and more people have been showing up to see her speak. And now she hasn't been around for the past month. And one person will say, I think some of those people went with her up to that camp, the people that were listening to her speak. So you have any other specific questions for your contacts?
No, not really, but I will make sure that each one of them knows to keep their mouth shut that I'm even asking.
Okay, and one of them gives you a look about the thing on your shoulder and is like, so you're working for the queen now, are you? I hope it's a game you're running.
Just give a wink and like, of course it is.
Any other specific questions you want to ask your contacts?
No.
All right. So we've fulfilled those two things. Ava, do you have the thing you wanted to say?
So she will talk to the voice on her shoulder and say, I've already come this far. I don't. Fine. We'll go to your temple. And then.
And Cyrus, you're the only one that understands that. So you other guys, you never heard it. She never said it. You never understood what she said. All right. So we're gonna take a vote. We're gonna vote how our character would vote. You want to go directly to the camp, or do you want to go commune with the cleric and get some augury and try to figure out where the divine entities would like us to go? And I as a DM am happy with either decision. So we're gonna vote. How does your character vote? If you want to go directly to the temple, directly towards the camp, raise your hand. If you want to go to a temple first, character, raise your hand. We got 2 people that didn't vote. So that's 2
cheating.
votes. Yeah, we got 2 for temple and 1 for directly to the camp. Neither Luna nor Cyrus are going to vote.
Made it clear that we could go to the camp or stop. I mean, I'm not one for abstaining from votes. I hate abstaining from votes, but my character's already made it clear that he would support the camp or support going to a temple.
All right, we're going to the temple next time. It's going to be the Temple of Fetlan. And we're going to get some guidance at the Temple of Fetlan. And with that, we're going to end our session and we're going to do some checkouts. All right. A little bit of mystery solving this time around. Solving those mysteries. Okay, so let's think about everything that everybody did. People made a lot of interesting decisions today and interesting character choices. So let's think about something you liked about the session, something you liked that another player did, and any other random thoughts or feedback you want to throw in. And Allison, you can go first.
Something I liked about the session. The dude sitting on dude. The argument that happened there.
Dwarf on dwarf action.
Yep, that was very entertaining. And even the interaction with the bard, that was just, every bit of it was very entertaining and hilarious. I already forgot the other 2 questions.
Thing you like that another player did, and any random feedback thought extra thing.
Okay. Something I like that another player did. I'm gonna have to go with the the dwarf on dwarf. I'm that was hilarious. Even though it was unintentional, I loved it. It was great. So, um, I'm assuming this round we're not doing the award inspiration.
We got 3 inspirations right now,
Gotcha.
so we're full on the votes. You
Okay.
can, if you wanted to, give an honorary inspo vote, you can.
I would have to do that to John.
For the hot dwarf on dwarf action.
The whole awkwardness of it all, of not fully understanding yet fully understanding what was going on. It was just,
I completely misinterpreted what Jake said, but Eva just had this knee-jerk reaction of and yeah. I'm glad it didn't turn into combat. Do you want me to go next?
Go ahead. Yeah. So
yeah, so I liked so thing I liked about session, I liked the way you resolved that, where it didn't, combat or not, we could have had a bar brawl. I didn't really care. I liked the way you resolved everybody else's side story before we got into that, because it's always, I didn't want to be that player that comes in and interrupts, and gets us thrown out before people get to resolve their stories. So I thought that was really good. Something another player did, something you liked. I mean, Luna's her voices talking with Jaden was really great. I liked actually how everybody was into their character. I thought that was, I like players that put themselves into the mind of what their character would do or what their character would think, and not just what you want as a player. Now I gotta look up, was there a third question? Oh, any random feedback thing? No, not really. I'll just I type in chat because I used to be one of those players that would interrupt when other people were talking, and so I've worked really hard to get out of that habit, where I'll like keep myself on mute and I will like just type little stuff in chat. But so I'm sorry if that's distracting. If there's, if there's like, maybe Discord is not distracting, maybe it's a Zoom chat. So Discord's fine, then yeah, that's fine. Because like I like somebody's doing a guitar solo, I like to put up a guitar solo GIF. But yeah, no, I don't. I'm on a Linux machine and I have monitor issues, so I was trying not to switch back and forth. But yeah. So I will stick to the side comments in Discord.
Yeah, Discord chat's good.
Okay.
GIFs in Discord are great. It's just on Zoom it pops up with a red 1.
I completely understand. Yeah, I apologize.
And Milo Cahill could become Milo Cowhill at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
I might forget where I am. So yeah, put it in there, and we love GIFs. GIFs are good.
GIFs are better.
Yeah, GIFs, the race are better. GIFs, the graphic are great.
Which are also GIFs.
The graphic.
The opposite pronunciation for each are also fully acceptable. All right, David, you're up.
Now, I thought everybody had a really good chance to shine. John, welcome to the party. I think you're a great addition to the player. You're as a player, and your character is very, very interesting. And I also like the way you pulled off the dwarf thing. It was unintentionally, but but the way you pulled it out was great. Luna, Allison, I thought the way that your thieves' cant interaction, I haven't seen it done like that, but that was really brilliant, and I thought that was really nice. Kyle, you were a person after my own heart today. I'm usually the guy trying to solve the Scooby-Doo mysteries, that's trying to go around and pull threads and ask for things, and I was really happy to see the way you chased the Fia lead down today. I was actually, that when I was going up to Luna, I was going to ask Jaden about the Prince and Fia, you know, just trying to get back in the flow of the conversation, and you beat me to it. So well done on that. Sean, for the second week in a row, you can kind of see when the light bulb goes off with you, and you get an idea, and I love that, and I love that you lead out with it, and you're going to. The one thing I want to say though is love it, keep doing it. And this is just, I'm speaking as a player now. In the session zero docs that Jake wrote, there's a and I'm not saying this is what you have, but he wrote a section, and it's like, tell me your crackpot scheme in advance. So, and then like he'll help you to pull it off and everything like that. And that's the only my one little nudge I would give you is when the light bulb goes off and when you get an idea, don't try to spring it on him so that he's got to read and react to it, but include him in it, because he actually wants your idea, and he'll help you navigate through it. And even in the doc, it says like, maybe you don't even need to roll, maybe it just happens. And I think Jake is actually hand waving more and more stuff to just happen. And even said it today. He was like, this is gonna happen because it's fucking cool. So
Yeah,
like,
no. I want them to sit in the lap. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So just wave it. So that would be my only thing, is keep the ideas flowing, grab the spotlight and lead out with your ideas. I would just include Jake in it and let him be an enabler for you. That's all my feedback.
But just curious, because like I'm not actually sure what you're talking about. Which idea are you talking about today? Where I was like trying to get Eva to like do the makeup thing.
I thought you got. I thought I saw the light bulb come on when you wanted to go to the temple towards the end of the session, and it because you were kind of low, interactive at points, and then you were like, "Yes, I've got an idea, and I think this would be a really cool thing to do, and I want to go do this." And I saw that. I was really happy that you came to the forefront and grabbed it.
Well, my thing is like I feel like I took a lot of the spotlight last session, so I want to take more of a backseat this session.
No, I think your pacing is fine. Oh, and I also saw it come on at the bar too. Again, I think it just like your interaction with John at the bar was really interesting as well. My only thing is my only guidance is include Jake in it, and he'll help you to pull some cool shit off.
I felt bad during the break because you were trying to get me to charm her so you could do something with her, and I totally forgot about that, and I pretended to cast a spell, and then I asked her the question. I think you wanted to ask her, and I apologize for that.
Well, no, as a player, I expected that to fail.
Oh, okay.
Like as a player, I wanted that chaos inserted into the scene. And like, all right, so like Valoran has no wisdom at all. He is an idiot. He is a total fool. So like he is super gullible and like will like totally fall for dumb stuff like that. So I'm loving it when you're just like pretending to.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that, but I also want to see these people's personalities be revealed in the story. That it's even more fun. Yeah, I want to save my comments for the end. But you did a lot of cool things today, Sean, and I think yeah, I don't know exactly how I want to phrase it, but I feel like everybody is participating in a really good way, and there's no reason to arbitrarily stop yourself from doing anything that you might do naturally. If I think things are imbalanced, I'll switch the focus. I'll switch the focus from here to there, or I'll slow things down. And if somebody is doing too much, I'll say, all right, let's look at this. But yeah, I think many of us may feel like, oh, they've heard too much from me, when in fact that's not what other people are experiencing. I think we're finding a good balance. So why don't we I've sort of lost track of that.
I think it's Luce is next.
Well, did David go all the way? David went all the way.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Feedback. So let's go to Baloran, since we were just talking to him for a while.
There was a lot of fun stuff today. Like people said, Luna with the thieves can't actually playing it out. That's always fun. you know, you know, loose with basically being a bard, playing the bard, and then making a bardic escape. Like, that's fun. Um, I don't know what's going on with Eva, and I am very eager to find out. And meta, like, there's obviously some tie-in with the party, but like, um, you know, you don't have the orb thing going on. You're talking to some ghost thing, or like, the entire session I completely expected it to be a familiar, like an imp, and you were like another warlock or something. So like, I don't know, maybe that is the case, who knows? But like, that's like kind of what I'm like, what is going on here? Um and it's just, everybody just did a really good job. I love seeing more of Luce today. um you know I I think it was posted that you're like a bard and a fighter.
Who? Oh, Luce.
Luce, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's cool.
Oh, never mind.
No, go ahead.
I like the lack of meta, right? Like I like that, I'm writing, like I have notes on all the players and I'm like, wizard question mark? I like that.
Yeah, I have no idea what you are.
I don't know either. I'm trying something because it's a homebrew world and I'm still trying to learn through the lore and I'm still working out, like I have like, a page of jot notes with Jake. I'm still trying to, figure out how the Pantheon works and how some of her stuff works. But I think, by next session I should have it nailed down.
But it's fun to wonder about it. I know a lot of the things I play, in D&D Beyond, you pretty much, you can see everyone's character sheet, so you like very much meta know everything about each other, and so this is fun to kind of be like, oh, okay, I didn't know you had that in your bag of tricks. So yeah, it's great.
So Sean, we get something you liked about the session, something like that another player did, random feedback thing. We got all your stuff. Any other thing you wanted to throw in?
I'm gonna throw my honorary inspiration vote at Luna for the thieves can't.
Very good. All right, Kyle, you're up.
Yeah, sorry, I made lots of comments, so I'll be quick. Yeah, liked so much. I think just echo what everybody said about each other's characters. I thought everybody had a great little spotlight moment and shined in their respective elements. I like you gave us room to sort of a lot of RP room, a lot of room to goof off and be silly, which I know as DM could be fun, but it can also be like, okay, guys, let's get back on track. So yeah, I would say honorary vote would go to, I love the Thieves Can't with Allison. I loved the imaginary friend that I'm still trying to figure out what that's about with John. Yeah, everybody should get one, in my opinion. But yeah. My only I guess some other random feedback, because Luce is a fighter, her blade is hungering for some blood. So but on that note, I do also agree with the comment that was made about sort of the fight not escalating into combat, not forcing combat arbitrarily on us. So yeah, I think letting it happen naturally is nice. I promised to be brief and I wasn't, so now I'll be quiet.
Awesome. Well, I promise to be extremely non-brief, but I love this party. I had a great time last time. I'm having a great time this time. Next time we're going to have Biggs, who will, of course, appear from the shadows like Batman, and rejoin. We will start by heading to the Temple of Fetlan next time, in 1 week's time. Let's see. I really enjoyed RPing Luce and the Bard, and making comments about men the whole time. That was fun. I enjoyed the dwarf on dwarf action, and also teasing Eva about her drawing on her face. via other characters. I appreciate Luna's Thieves' Cant giving me a reason to improvise malarkey. That was fun. I'm glad that you all solved the puzzle by finally mentioning Fia's name. You were, asking about the prince several times, and I was like, oh my God, why don't they ask somebody about Fia Charles? And eventually you did, and you got more information, and that was good. Um, and Kyle was really on the ball with that piece of detective work. And I really enjoyed the interaction between Eva and Baloran around charm person versus friends. This like Keystone Cops of magic that was happening. And I like that Sean likes suboptimal roles and suboptimal outcomes. And when I gave him a choice, he chose the crappier stat to roll because it made more sense. So yeah, I really like I really like what's happening with the characters and the relationships in the party. And it's going to be fun to go to the Temple of Fetlon next time. And if I were very strict and boundaried, we would have stopped 50 minutes ago, but I was having fun. So just don't hold it against me. One of these nights, I'm going to be like, all right, we're stopping right on time. But yeah, that's it for now. So we'll be chatting during the week and stuff, and be well, get some sleep, people that are in various time zones, and good game.
Well, real quick, I appreciate all the nice things about the Thieves' Cant thing, but that is not an original idea. That is something I found on Pinterest about 6 months ago of a whole template of crazy things you can say and what their meanings are. I did not reference that because I thought it would be more fun to come up with malarkey. But yeah, I figured that would be a lot fun and make it so then, although you guys couldn't understand what she was saying, you would realize it does sound like complete nonsense, but it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, no, I love the idea of Thieves' Cant. My last character was a rogue, and I mean it can be anything, right? Like there was a dictionary of words, like a second story burglar had like a nickname, a tin roof walker or something like that. But or it can be symbols, it can be hand signs, it can be all sorts of things that rogues. And even the idea that it doesn't necessarily need to be malarkey, it could just be a local slang, right? Like even between the British and the US, right? So
Well, I've never been so happy to hear the word malarkey used so many times in one night.